Today, we will be ranking every single logo in our master folder of every logo that the WFA has ever used. As there is a bunch of stuff to worry about, I'll be moving through these as fast as humanly possible, so hold on to your butts, because this is Time Machine. Kicking off the G tier is the New Orleans Gamblers. It's a G, that's all. This is the last remaining evidence of what the Bismarck/Rapid City Falcons logo was for a short time at the beginning of our run here in the New Generation Football League. Man, we had no originality with some of these people. Next up is the Blue Marshals, slightly worse than the Green Marshals. And finally in the G tier is the Season 2 Yakima Yetis, which is just a logo from the game because Smith is unoriginal and I hate him and he's just... Noah, you gotta stop it. He's just some guy on the internet. It's alright. A lot of people on the internet are just terrible people. Just stop. Stop worrying about it. Get over it. It's fine. Anyway, back to the list. Kicking off the F tier with the Tri-Cities Fever. The Fever had one season, and they had a season that was just as bad as this logo, so best be forgotten. So this team was a team that was existed for like 5 minutes during an off season. It was listed as an expansion team. The Carolina Cavalry, the original Cavalry. I think I forgot to even put them in that video that I did a while ago. But this team, it doesn't look good. It's not great. This logo is the same as the Blue Marshals, although they don't remind me of the blue and yellow Marshals jerseys that make me, so awful, so ugly. No one likes those. So, Scott kinda had the idea of what the Oklahoma Regulators are supposed to look like, but these guns are, they don't match this logo. It's not very good. We could have done a lot better with this, let's be honest. And then finally for this tier, we have the Pittsburgh Steel, who are a ripoff of the Birmingham Iron, and that's pretty much all there is to it. It's a decent looking logo, but it's an obvious ripoff, so I can't rate it very high. Starting off the E tier, we have the Okc Lightning. Not sure if this is supposed to be a bowl of lightning or a hurricane or what it is. It looks pretty cool though. So even though it is an in-game logo, I'm still gonna think it's a little cool. I bumped into this logo when I was looking at the oldest things in our server. I just found it funny that we have a better version of this logo in the league now. And this one, the colors are not great, and it's kind of all wrong. But yeah, I thought I would be willing to include it because it's funny. It's funny that we have the same logo again with a different team. And then we have the Indianapolis Cyclones logo, which is just a logo from the game, but at least it looks good, so that's a plus. Another game original logo. I couldn't find the original, so I used a picture that I made for a hype video that I did about 3-4 seasons ago. It looks okay as well, but not very original, so it doesn't get many points. I can't tell if it's the logo itself or the person it's associated with that puts this logo in this tier, but here we are. Same goes for this. And same goes for this unoriginal piece of art. Wow, this man's inconsistency should have been a red flag from the very beginning. St. Louis Spirits. Cool uniform. Logo doesn't really fit. I'm not really sure why this is their logo, but it is an in-game logo, so it's not going to rank very high, unfortunately. But yeah, there they are. When I said everything, I really did mean everything. The Time Machine thumbnail, it's alright. It's not super original. I just slapped our logo onto something, but hey, I think it's a little better than the Fever. So there you go me. And finally, for this tier, we have the WFA. I mean the WFAN logo. The original logo. Not very original there, Colin. Oh man, the fireworks are going off. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Now we jump into the D tier with something that is original from Colin. We have the All-Star helmet logos from this past season. We have the gray one right here, which I think is very cool. And here is the white version, which is very smooth and nice. Both of these logos do very well for the game, and I think that is a good representation of it. Isn't overly dramatic, but solid, good enough for this tier. Next, we have the new Falcons logo, more commonly known as the Zach Holdorf logo, as that came in around when he did for the team. And this is a very solid logo, nothing too fancy, but a good, solid logo for this team. And now we have the Charleston Federals, which I think is a very imaginative logo. I don't love the navy that is being used here, but there's a lot of different pieces going on, and a lot of them work, so that's why it's here in this tier. And here is the current Fury logo, which is better than the one that the Bismarck Falcons were using that we saw earlier, so it has to be a tier above, and also it just looks pretty simple. There's not a lot here, but it definitely deserves to be at least one tier up from its doppelganger, if you will. And then next we have both versions of the Grizzlies. Not a ton to look at. They're just bears, but they do their job. They look fine. That's all. And then next up you have the current New Haven Lancers. We all know they're not as good as their original, which we'll get to, but this is a fine logo. It's not the worst, as we've already seen, just somewhere right in the middle. Next we have the current Indiana Lynx logo, minus the watermarks. This is a pretty fine logo. Not much to say. Colors are fine. And then next we have the Pottsville Maroons alternate logo. I don't know why this football player, his arm is in a sling, but here we are. I think this does a passable job. I prefer their letter better though, so that should show you what I think of it. I feel like the Cape Charles Pirates might have done better if the team was better, but I can't really put them very high. I mean, it's a decent looking logo, but it just doesn't have that gravitas to it that a lot of these other ones do. Same goes for this Houston Toros. I think he looks pretty cool, but at the same time, there are a lot better ones that I think work, and the Toro, it's just kind of comical. So I'm not the biggest fan of this, but it's still a pretty decent logo. Memphis/DC Tribe. I think this team could use an update. I like the alternate logo that I can't find that has the mount, like the cityscape and the letter M. I think that one works a lot better. Can't use that now, obviously, but I think this logo, while appealing, isn't really my favorite thing to look at. Victoria Vanguard, pretty cool logo. I think we could have done more with this. I don't really understand the circular nature of it, but even still, I think this is a pretty cool logo as well, on the same level as these other ones. Boston Whales does its job. You know what team it is, but it is just a whale with a B, so not my favorite logo in the world. And finally, for D tier, the current Wolfpack logo. I know Jake might get mad at this, but of the 3 Wolfpack logos we'll be going over today, this one is my least favorite. I don't understand its little baby teeth, so that just annoys me. So this is not my favorite logo of his. It's still pretty good, and still, I'm not gonna hate on it that much, but you can do better and have done better. Kicking off the C tier is the Corn Kings alternate logo. I like this one quite a bit. Just the state of Iowa with a K. Not the craziest thing in the world, but this is the kind of design that I like, so big grades from me. Next up is the Portland Cougars. These guys are one of the better logos in the league. Again, it is just a cougar, but it's still pretty good. I like it quite a bit. Following up with the Kansas City Cyclones. I love this logo much better than the other Cyclones that we have. I love the color scheme. I love the little C at the top marking Cyclones. All around, this one's pretty good. Glad it's in the C tier. Yeah, still could be more imaginative, but I like it for what it's doing. Now here's the Detroit Fury. I think there was another version of this kind of logo in the past, but I don't know where it is. So we're rocking with this. This is the F, the flying F. I think it works. I think it's like the Cyclones in the fact that it's pretty smooth. It's got the letter in there. It looks pretty cool. So yeah, there it is. And the color scheme works a lot better than some of these. So that's why it's here. This is the only ASFL logo you're going to see on this list, as it's the only one that I had saved on my phone. The rest are off somewhere in the server, and I don't want to go looking for them. This little Memphis Gator, pretty cool guy. He's got the little ascot. I think that is really swell. Check out the ASFL if you want. It's a great way to see some random players you wouldn't expect. At first glance, the San Diego Gulls logo is one of the best that we have. It's very cool. It looks realistic also, which is a big plus. But once you see the hand, it makes it just strange and you don't understand it. So I put it somewhere in the middle because I think that it's cool, but I didn't need the hand. Here's the original Jamaica Hummingbirds. I remember when I first saw this logo, I was a bit overwhelmed by the decision to change the name and to make it into the Hummingbirds, but as time went on, I got used to it, and now this is one of my it's in my top half of the logos that I like. It's not my favorite, even my favorite Hummingbirds logo, but it does its job. It's pretty cool. The Virginia Marauders are kind of in the same boat as some of these other ones. It was only around for 4 games because of the Season 7 shenanigans. It's a cool looking logo, but it just didn't get enough screen time for me to really appreciate it, so it gets stuck in C tier. The original Pottsville Maroons logo, very classic, very simple, not much to it, but it brings the energy of what the Pottsville Maroons are all about. I love it. I wouldn't want it to change. I'm glad we're going back to this, because this is my preferred option. There is only one thing that can be said about the Toronto Reapers logo. Pale Death! The Lincoln Spiders, not much to be said. Classic form for them. The classic color scheme of the WFA, apparently, with the blue and the black. Jake always reminds us of that. But I like how this Spiders logo turned out eventually. And yeah, happy with that. The new Myrtle Beach Stingers. I love the look of this little guy. He's a fighter, that's for sure. I love the color scheme. This is going to be one of the ones that I'm going to look back. I'm going to love this one. Still in the C tier. But I still really enjoy it quite a bit. Next up are a few snakes that I'm going to give in timeline order. We have the Oakland Venom, we have the Salt Lake City Vipers, and we have the Vegas Venom. All of these are snakes, and that's pretty much it. Pretty cool stuff. And finally, for the C tier, we have the Green Bay Wolfpack Season 1 logo. I think he held on to this for a couple seasons, but this is one of the classic ones. I like it fine. Still not my favorite Wolfpack logo, but yeah, this one's pretty good. I like the lighter tones of the logo. Yeah, one of the better ones. Heading into the B tier now is the Montreal Berserkers. This guy looks ready for war. I love this guy. He is a top-notch logo. great way to start the B tier. Also in this tier, we have the Wyoming Cavalry. Everybody loves swords. I love mountains, so this logo gets a lot of praise from this guy. Also up here is the Corn Kings primary logo. I really like it. I think it does a good job of showing off what the team's all about. In classic form, it's very different from a lot of the other logos that we have in the league, so big thumbs up from me. Another Las Vegas team that we had was the Las Vegas Gamblers. They brought this blue devil guy. I don't really get it myself, but he's still pretty cool looking, so he's getting up into the B tier. I will also be always partial to something Chicago Ghosts related, especially this original primary Ghost logo. Logan was able to make it better as time went on, but this was a great way to start off. Also very original, something that speaks to what he wanted to do with that team. Awesome stuff. And next we have these cool little helmet mock-ups that we had made for a couple of the teams. I remember when I first saw these, I was taken aback by how awesome they looked, but especially these three logos. You saw some of the other ones before that didn't do as well, but I just love the feeling that these gave. Really awesome stuff. I don't remember, I think it might have been Logan that got us these, but these are really awesome, and I'm glad that I got to see them. Next up, we have the new hummingbirds. I've never noticed that little red tip on his wing, so that's very cool. This guy is more ready for battle than the other one. I love him. Much improved from the Jamaica of before. Here is the second iteration of the NGFL logo. I love this one. This one is very simple, not a lot of color to it, but that's just the way I like it. I think we took a little bit of a step back, but it's not like we took a huge step back. This is one of my favorite logos, so I still love it. I'll also always have a soft spot for something that I designed, so the Miami Nightmares logo, pretty cool stuff. I love the pink, I love the shark. I'll always love this, so there's no stopping me. I will always mark out for a shield when it's done right, so this Salt Lake City Vipers logo is something that I love. I will always enjoy this, I think, so this is one of my favorites. Even though we're not using it anymore currently, I still love it. And here is Colin's original piece for the WFA network. I love the purple, I love the white, I love his whole space theme. So this did a much better job than what you were working with before. Good job, buddy. And here is the Greenway Wolfpack logo that I love the best. I think it does the best of all three of them, of getting his colors in and looking intimidating at the same time. This reminds me of Season 5, which is the best season. So this is something that I really love to look at. And finally, for the B tier, we have the Honolulu Wyverns. Awesome team logo, awesome team name, very original. So I love this one. I wish it could stick around longer, but it'll just get relegated to lists like this. And now we get to the best of the best, the A tier. Here I have the current Montreal Berserkers logo. I just absolutely love this guy as well. I love that arm sleeve with the maple leaves and the stars on it. That's really cool, very original. You don't see this kind of thing around much. So I just absolutely love this. I'm so glad that this is part of my league stuff. A lot of these are logos that I'm going to miss, that I'm not going to be able to use anymore. One of these is the Colorado Clash. Just look at this guy. So cool looking. I'm so mad that we don't have this in the league anymore, but he's so cool. Just ready to just destroy your soul. Awesome stuff, Colorado. Everyone should know by now my affiliation with the Phoenix Fighters jersey set as one of the best that we've ever had, but the logo was also very cool. I love it. This little Roo looking so dangerous. So I love it. I wish we could have this as well. And here we have the most recognizable Ghosts logo. This is the one that we had for a long time. I love it. This is the one that I recognize the most. And it's so cool. Just look at the detailing on the helmet. Yeah, makes me happy. And here's the much superior New Haven Lancers logo. The green, the yellow just takes this team to a whole new level. This is a championship level logo. That other one is definitely not. And another one that I'm going to miss is the LA Mambas, which was a team that was made following the passing of Kobe Bryant. It's a small logo, but it does all it needs to do. It's very cool. I love it. So it had to get into the A tier for this. And here we have my two favorite league logos. We have the original NGFL logo and the original WFA logo. These are just some awesome looking designs. I love these two. We can't top it, so I don't want to try. And these mean a lot to me. So I'm glad that I still have ownership of these. These bring back good memories. And yeah, I'm really happy with how these turned out. Even though they are brand new this year, the Santa Fe Prowl is one of the sickest logos that we have. My favorite part about it is that little New Mexico flag inside the O. Very awesome, great attention to detail. I love it. I'm so glad that this is what the new team looks like. Here's another logo I love, Louisiana Steamers. Nice little football shape. Got the steamer in there, got the water in there. I love this color scheme as well. So this is one of the more perfect logos that you can have. Absolutely love it. Another team with a lot of swagger that you can't really top is the Washington Wastelanders. I can't wait to see this logo in action a lot. I can't wait to see them on the field. This is going to be one of my new favorite teams. Shout out to Chad. This is really awesome design. And of course, to end the A tier, I have to end it with the New Orleans Voodoo, one of the greatest teams of all time. It's hard to top it, and this logo is so fitting for a team like that. Will always look like excellence to me. Very hard to beat this. But you know who can beat the Voodoo? Jackson Crabs, S tier, by themselves, championship material. We're back to win another ring. We're back to reclaim my dynasty. Stop it. I'm the best. You can't do it. If you don't like it, make your own list. That ain't my fault. I put in the work. I'm the best. In reality, I absolutely adore this logo. It's so cool. I'm so glad that someone brought this for me because it's one of my favorite things. I'm so glad that I get to use it again. I'm going to be using it all over the place. So, in my opinion, this is the best logo in the WFA. You don't have to agree with me. This is my list. Absolutely love the Crabs. So that's the list. I hope you enjoyed my ranting and raving on this subject. Please let me know your opinions because I'm sure you have a lot of them. All of these logos can be found in a Google document in the server, and if you want to take a look and maybe even make a list of your own. I hope you enjoyed this video because it took me a long time to make. Please let me know what you want me to cover next. Until then, this has been Noah on The Time Machine.